edited, tell the truth, and shame the devil. I love being black. You already know what it is. Live, uncut, unedited, tell the truth, and shame the devil. You already know what it is. Live, uncut, unedited, tell the truth, and shame the devil. I love being black. Tell the truth, tell the truth, and shame the devil. Tell the truth and shame the devil. Tell the truth and shame the devil. All right, people. This is live, uncut, unedited. Come on in. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Facebook, Twitter, X, simultaneous. Lee, well, all of them at three at the same time. So I appreciate you guys tuning in. This is definitely live, uncut, unedited. Tonight we got an open discussion. We want to talk about anything. We just open up to anything tonight, and I want you guys to talk about, bring some. Most of the time we talk about crime. We could talk about relationship. It don't make a difference whatever we talk about. I'm gang with it. I'm gang. If I don't know something about it, hey, listen, I don't know nothing about it. But I appreciate you guys to tuning in, taking your time. This is a moment where we can vent right here on this live podcast, and you don't have to worry about me trying to embarrass you or nothing like that. And it's a good thing. It's a good thing, people. So I appreciate you. They got the playoffs tonight. A lot of men are watching, but you do have some that's watching this podcast tonight and watching us tonight too as well. So hey, it is what it is. I appreciate you guys. I love being black. I'm not ashamed of being black. I'm not ashamed of what they're showing. But I tell you one thing: anything that you see negative about black people, that doesn't represent all of us. I can truly say that. I can truly say that. We all are not criminals. We all are not prostituting. We all are not fighting in the grocery store. We all not selling dope. We all not gang banging. We lawyers, we doctors, we judges, we politicians, we pastors, we ministers, we scientists, we mathematicians, we businessmen, we entrepreneurs. We all them things, people. So don't ever let nobody tell you that we're not. We are great people only if we knew what was in our DNA. We have greatness in us. We love to create. Anything that we touch, whether it be food, we put a twist on it. Whether it be music, we put a twist on it. Whether it be sports, we put a twist on it. Whether it be a talk show, we put a twist on it. And real talk, people, I appreciate you guys for showing me love, and it's a great thing. It's a great thing. And I guarantee you, hopefully, with the information that's being released from this platform will help you in some kind of way. You, or even if it don't help you, it can help your family members. And that's what I'm talking about. And we need more of information. Information saves lives. Education saves lives. So that's what we're doing, people. We giving information. We giving information. I appreciate every last one of you guys. We got people calling in. Make sure you want to call in, people. I'm taking calls tonight. We want some new calls tonight, and we want to try to not be so long-winded. I know we're so passionate that we want to tell everything. But sometimes we just have to make space for other people to talk. So, again, I thank you for tuning in. It's a good time to be living. We living in a day and time where folks don't have no hope. But my hope relies in God. I tell you, when man always fail you, and he will fail you, disappoint you, you just got to have an anchor. As Douglas Miller said, he had an anchor that holds within. We got black people that's going down to City Hall, that's holding black politicians accountable for what they're passing and all that. So we got a lot going on, people, a lot going on. And I appreciate you guys for tuning in. I can't listen, I can't be grateful because I'm telling you, you could be doing something else right now. You could be with your loved one or your with your husband, your wife, your baby mama, baby dad, whatever you want to call it. You could be with them right now. And but you right here, you listen to the Martin G. Johnson show. And that is I don't take that lightly. So I appreciate you guys for tuning in. And we've want to bring some information. We want to bring receipts when we talk. We don't just want to uh, as I say, find bad things about people and then just put it all over social media. That's not what we're about on this platform. We're about spreading love. And we can do that, people. We can do that. We don't all have to be fighting at each other's neck. And y'all know I believe in fighting. I believe in defending myself at all times. I tell you, I'm not, one thing about me, hey, sometimes you got to go to war. You got to go to war for your character. You can't just let nobody get on here and say anything about you, especially if it's a lie. And you supposed to just sit there and just take it. Oh no, people out here trying to do damage control. They're out here trying to defame your name. You know, they have lived a life of did whatever they want to do. Now they're upset because you're doing great. You got people out here, people that can't stand to see you be great. Then you got people out here that try to cause division. They say, "Hey, Martin, you're doing a good job," but then they go to the next man. Man, you better than Martin. You know, there's no competition with me. I'm here, people, just to bring the news. That's it. I'm just here to bring the news. Live, uncut, and unedited. Nobody can say on the internet that I'm trying to be like a certain person. I'm not a clone of nobody. I made my own lane. I built my own brand. That's what I did. And I'm going to continue to do so. You know, so this platform is open tonight for any discussion that you guys want to bring to the platform. And you know, and I know that we all may not agree on some things, but I'm going to put the number up here. So some of you that never lock the number in, I got to always post it up, but that's okay. That's my job to do that. And you see the number over my head, one of the numbers, and that's the number on the screen. I'm feeling good tonight, and I want to hear from some of you. I definitely want to hear from some of you guys. I want to hear from you. I want to hear. I need some good information. Mm. All right. This is live, uncut, unedited. Wow. This is real, people. This is real. This is real, people. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Report slain Chicago police officer sustained gunshot wound to the face. SUV stolen and recovered. All right. Let me acknowledge some of my guests real quick before I get started. I already got a call. I believe that's Marcus. He called in. Rion Davis, Miss Emma Harris, Reggie Slaughter. What's up, Reggie? All right. Big Drew 79. Did the police find a suspect of the police shooting? I don't think, not to my knowledge. Not to my knowledge. Roosevelt, what's going on, Roosevelt? Roosevelt, you was interesting last night. My brother Mohammed, I see you. D, what's going on? Deborah Chapman. All right. Bonnie Williams, what's going on? What's going on? Mama Sita, Mama Poppins, how you doing? I appreciate you. Leslie Brown, what's up, Leslie? All right. James G. Stroker. All right. I see you. All right. All right. I see a lot of you guys. Kanika. What's up, Kanika Robertson? I see you. I see you. I know you've been out there thrifting. We ain't talked in a minute. Or how about when you get embarrassed, laugh out loud, you block people. Oh, okay. Somebody said, there go troll. I don't get it, but you can't embarrass me. You can't embarrass me at all. That's my job. This is my platform. I could block whoever I want to block. This is my platform. If something come across this platform that I don't like, I have that option to block them. And if I say something that you don't like or agree with, you have the option to leave the live or block me. You have that option. So don't just think, hey, listen, it's a two-way street. It's a two-way street here. You can't come on here and tell me how to run my page and what to do, what not to do. All what I see y'all showing on y'all page, oh my goodness. Smoking blunts, half naked, cussing, fighting, doing drugs, all types of stuff. Hollering and cussing your babies out, all types of stuff. Baby mama drama, baby daddy drama, all types of stuff I see on your page, some of you guys' page. You'd love it. You'd love it. Options are out there. When you see something that you don't like, man, if you see a page with a half-naked woman or a naked woman, you have an option to scroll by it, delete it, report it, whatever. That's your option to do. That's your option. You don't have to hang around at all. That's your option. Man, that's one thing about Facebook. It's a powerful tool if we use it correctly. That's real talk. All right, let me pin this up here. I need you guys to like and share it. If you have not subscribed to my YouTube page, make sure you do that as well. Subscribe to my YouTube page. If you're not getting my notifications on Facebook, you can get them on YouTube. They do send them out. So you can do that. That'd be an alternative for you. And if I block you on Facebook, you're welcome to go to YouTube and watch me. You act up again, I'll block you from YouTube. So, hey, this is on. Okay, Brother Marcus, we're going to get started. We're going to get started.
All right.
All right.
Let me step out of this restaurant right quick.
Okay.
So the noise won't be in the background, but I'm going to talk to you.
Okay.
So today in the city of Chicago, you probably know it already, the Bears announced plans for a new stadium.
Okay.
But I believe that they're going to be challenged by Friends of the Park, because Friends of the Park is a group of people who privately put money into the park district, and a lot of people don't know that the park district is privately owned.
Okay.
In the city of Chicago. So they're going to probably be met by that. And I believe one of the reporters stood up and said that the governor wasn't even invited. So I'm not quite sure if Governor Pritzker is for it or not. I'm quite sure it has to pass through Springfield. But I think they need something new based on the layout of that stadium. That'll bring a lot of revenue to the city of Chicago. I know a lot of people on here probably doesn't care because some of us are low income. I mean, we're not rich. That's what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so with that stadium coming, it's probably the cost of living is probably going to go up here.
Okay.
Whatever the city builds.
Let me ask you a question, Marco. Where are they planning to put the new stadium? What's some of the plans?
That's a few feet away from the old.
Oh, okay.
Really?
Oh,
That's
okay.
a few feet away from the old. But anytime they talk about construction on the lakefront, Friends of the Park always try to block it. Which we gotta change Chicago. I mean, we gotta change. What was built 100 years ago is not suitable for now. I mean, cities change.
Okay.
So, as far as other stuff that's going on in this city, yeah, I heard you mention something about black people going down to City Hall.
Mm-hmm.
What's this rumor going around about recalling Brandon Johnson?
I think they're trying to. I think they're trying to put up something in place. I don't know if they'll be able to recall him right now. Anyway, they want to put something in legislation where if something happened again, I guess we don't approve of a mayor, we can get him out on a recall. So it's a lot going on. I haven't done a thorough investigation on that, Marcus, but I've
I
heard
will
about it.
say this.
Yeah.
I will say this. I've learned this when Rahm Emanuel was in office, and I thought about it. I gave it some deep thought. It really doesn't matter who is in that seat. What has been set in motion was set decades ago. That's the difference between white and black people. White people plan for the now. They're planning for the future right now.
Mm-hmm.
They're planning for 40 years or 50 years right now. That's why they're building all these new stadiums and whatnot. So black people need to take note from that and start planning. I'm not saying follow the white man, but take note and start making plans. Think about your future, even if you're not going to be here. Think about the future
Mm-hmm.
of your people existence and where you hope they should be in that future.
Okay. Okay. All right. That's
Hey,
cool.
Mark.
Hey, Danny, come on, Danny. I got a white man on this live, y'all.
I'm
Come on.
gonna go on mute,
Okay, go
but
ahead,
I'm gonna go
Danny.
back
Yeah.
in this one rest.
What's going on, Danny? What you want to talk about?
Well, I'm just listening a little bit, Martin. But
Okay.
I gotta tell you what. I've been around for a while, right?
Right, of course, Danny. I've been knowing you close to 30 years. Come on.
Yeah, as a white kid, white guy from a white neighborhood. Uh, like when we met, I was already hanging around in the city since like about probably 1990. I think we met like probably around '96,
Right.
and I was always just really amazed at how similar white and black communities really were. And it's, it basically, I guess what it is, it does have a lot to do with the economics, but I got to tell you, there's a lot of poor white people out there that you don't even know about.
Tell her,
And
Dan.
I don't know.
Tell us, Dan. Educate us tonight, Dan. Educate us tonight. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just don't think the difference is it's just everybody's being played. They're trying to separate us. White over here, black over here, Hispanic, Asian. Okay, now you got the whole new group, the Venezuelans. You got the, I mean, don't fall for it. Can't fall for it. And I don't think, like, as far as the stadium goes, I'm not sure it has much to do with white people. Because probably the people that have a lot to do with it, whatever it is, if there's 5, 10, 20, there's probably a good chance that the majority of them are white. They're not all going to be white. Because once everybody gets that money, they all become part of that elite club. It's always been like that. I remember I was always like, it's like, my black friends was like, damn, this guy, he's a racist. And I remember going to the same guy. The guy was a jerk to me too. And I said, no, it's not a racist. It's just an asshole. He's like that to everybody.
Hey, Danny, remember you said some long time ago, we were talking, we often have these discussions when we talk. And I was like, man, these white people all face all mad and mean, they racist. And you said, well, Danny, you said, well, Martin, how about if he could be having a bad day. And I never looked at it like that. You told me that a long time ago. I mean, there's probably over 20 years. I was like, because I mean, we'll call. I'm talking about black people. Even myself, I say a white man, racist. He always face balled up and look at me. I say he racist, and you're like, he could be having a bad day. You just don't know, so you can't base.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it's easy to find an excuse and say that people are racist, but it's like, dude, I got to tell you honestly, right now, I'm up here in Cracker Town. I'm living in this neighborhood that I'm lucky to be in. And it was funny, like a few years ago, there's, it's the city. I'm up here around Montrose, Lawrence, along the Chicago River. It's a nice neighborhood. The north side, it's like, I guess the north side is richer than the south side. However, it ended up there, I don't know, but it's very interracial. But it was real hot. It was real popular to hop on the defund the police, Black Lives Matter, and I had all my neighbors and stuff. Got all the signs up there. And then there was some action where there was some guys. There was like a basically Hispanic kind of gang guys driving around in their cars, shooting at each other, just playing kids, shooting at each other. And they ran the one guy down to the end of the block, cornered him at the river, and they got out shooting at each other. And the same people that are trying to defund the police, the next thing you know, they're crying, "Where's the police? Where's the police?" I'm like looking at them like, "What's your problem?" I mean, you want to defund them until you need them.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I know.
And that's true. That's true. That is true on a lot of instances. And but let me just say this, Danny, from a black perspective, and I can say that I don't represent all black people, but I am black. I'll say that. But the black community, our relationship with the police have never been 100. Seriously, never been 100. It's never been that. I mean, we've always, Danny, you've lived in the black community. You know what goes on in the black community one time. You know what goes on. Yeah, go ahead.
I got past, I like to fuck around a little bit. And I got to tell you what, dude. As crazy as it sounds, I moved from that suburban neighborhood into the city. And you want to know why?
Mm-hmm.
Because the police was one of the reasons. I used to get busted all the time out in the suburbs. Man, dude, you wouldn't believe how bad the cops are in white communities on white people, man. Believe me, we got the problems out there too. Or they used to. I don't have it no more. But dude, listen, I think it's man, I could tell you some stories where I've seen some black people really get screwed over, and I wonder if it was because they were black. But I think what it was is I think what they assumed is if you're black in a certain neighborhood that you ain't got any money. And I've seen a lot of guys get in trouble and go to county for 6 months or a year where I got in the same trouble, but I came up with $1,000 to pay for the lawyer and it broke me. I didn't have to. I didn't go. And that was another thing,
Okay.
Does that make any sense?
Yeah, I understand. Well, listen, but Danny, you got to know.
Yeah.
But, listen. See what the news does, the media does, the mainstream media, they blow up our ills. When I say our black, referring to black people. I mean, if we just like if a black mother if she leave a child in the car 100 degrees, which she shouldn't, it's wrong. That'd be on the news so fast. But if it happened in a white area, they may cover it up. I did a crime scene out here in Oak Forest, and I spoke to a lot of people. They didn't even hear anything about it. They didn't even know anything about it. It was just so hid. I mean, it was a mass shooting actually in the suburbs, Oak Forest, something that you never hear of. Now, every community have crime, people, but
definitely.
So we don't want to say that in the white areas, predominantly white, they don't have no crime. That's not true. But we're talking about 4 people shot, mass shooting. 1 person is deceased. So when I got a wind of it, I went out here in Oak Forest and I videoed and I walked up and the news was interviewing the family of one of the persons that got shot. I believe was a female. And they were just explaining. And they were saying, well, we've been living out here for 14 years and 17 years, and we get along with the neighbors. We all homeowners with the exception of 2 houses. We don't have this problem out here. And I just want to warn the white community. And I'm going to say this. Listen, you might not be having drive-bys and carjackings and things like that the way we have it in the black community, but you're dealing with a new breed of criminals. They're going to the north side where people got money at. They're going to the suburbs now. They're going, Danny, you never heard of people going downtown looting back in the 80s and the 90s, even in the early 2000s. You never heard about that. You wouldn't dare go downtown and run in Macy's and run out the store with a rack full of clothes. You wouldn't do that. but we're dealing with a new breed of criminals, if I may say, that do that. And they not all, and they're not all black either. They're not all black because let me say this, Danny, before you say something. I remember when the Black Lives Matter organization was so strong, you had more white people saying Black Lives Matter than black people. And they was
they call that. You know what that was called, though, Martin?
What?
White guilt.
Oh, okay.
Because, dude, listen, I'm scared right now. I gotta tell you what. I don't care for the black. I like the Black Lives Matter, and I think if I would have been there and that guy was stepping on George Floyd's throat, I would have started screaming at him, and I might have pushed him off of him. I don't know why them people sit there and let him do that. Okay, but on the other hand, Martin, I got no fucking white guilt. I don't, dude. I might have done something. Somebody might have said what was racist, but dude, I help everybody. I'm not a person that was. I don't think I was ever racist. I never discriminated anybody against anybody else. I am not out there going to tell everybody Black lives matter. Of course, they all matter, and you know. And that's what a lot of them people are out there jumping up and down. They're just trying to find some. They're fucking phony, man. Don't fall them. I don't know, man. I just thought it was wrong. I thought it sounded really good, and it ended up really bad. That Black Lives, the whole organization, they spent all the money. A lot of people got positions of authority. They haven't done nothing. They haven't helped the black community at all. They just got it was a hustle, man. That's what it was.
Mm-hmm.
Well, but I'm going to tell you what, dude. No, Martin, that's what I've seen. Okay. And, you know what I mean? And that's what I've seen. I ain't going to argue with and tell you that you're wrong, dude. Or, you got your perspective, but I don't want to argue. Martin, I love you. I always love you. Me and you are going to remain friends, whether you like it or not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I tell you, hey Dan, I tell you one thing, we got a lot of money together. We did. Yeah,
dude, you know what, Martin? There's one thing about you from the day I met you. Remember, we had the hot dog stand you worked. I had the hot dog stand, and man, dude, I wish I could get that money back. No way.
Mm-hmm.
But dude, we've always worked.
Right.
You know what I mean? We out there hustling, waking up early, working that truck, standing at flea market, dealing with everybody. We work.
Right.
And I think that's the thing. Is people need to work. I think dude. I think society would be better if everybody had a little bit better work ethic. And no matter what, there's always going to be somebody making a little more money than you, and then a little less. But when you start at the bottom, there's not too many making less. But you got to work it.
Mm-hmm. Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Well, let's go a little politics a little bit, since I got you on here. Now, what's your take on a lot of black people voting Democrat? What's your take on that?
Dude, okay, listen, what it was is my history of politics. When I learned about politics, when I grew up in Crackertown, my little white town, I never even knew any. I didn't really learn the difference between Democrats and Republicans probably until I was in my 20s, because it was a small town, and it doesn't, everybody. When you're in a small town, in a small community, it's like you just want the right guy that's going to do the right thing, But I got to tell you, dude, and I'm a victim of it too, because I'm getting old. I didn't save enough money. I got. When Obama, they pushed that Obamacare or whatever,
mm-hmm.
didn't have insurance. Like I had most of my life, I had insurance through the union working for trucks, but when you don't work enough, you lose the insurance. So then I'm doing my taxes the one year, and it was like, if you don't have insurance, you're going to have to pay a fine.
Mm-hmm.
And this was probably, I don't know, that was don't hold me to it, but it was probably like 2014 or something. And then what I did was I went through my taxes. I filled it out. I don't have no insurance, and didn't make no money. And dude, about 2 weeks or I don't know, it was a month later, I got a fucking link card in the mail and fucking Medicaid. And you want to know what? I haven't fucking held a fucking legitimate job since then because I'm not healthy. You know, I used when you're young, you don't care about insurance because you don't need nothing. Now I got problems. And then I looked at the way it was. It's like, well, man, I'm going to have to go back and work. You go to work for some companies and you got to work 6 months, 3 months, 4 years to get the good insurance. And then either, you know, a lot of times they don't have the work. But anyways, so I got sucked into the socialism. And even to this day, I'm probably stunting my growth because I will not give up that Medicaid. I have people call me asking me to go to fucking work. And I can go in there and for the 1 week or a couple of weeks, I can make trucking money. You know, it's about 20 or 30 bucks an hour right now. Like I did since the day we met. Remember, I'd be broke.
Right.
You didn't see me for a while. I come back, got money. So I could go jump in that truck. But now since I need that insurance, I don't do it. And then you know what? That link card ain't too bad either. So that is that, dude. That is how I was brought into the system. And it's being, you know. And it just goes all the way back, and I gotta try honestly do it. I think that's like goes back into black community, and that's how you've been played. And then you can get that shit. You can get your link card, you can get your Medicaid, and get all that shit. And the only way you can get ahead is you gotta hustle cash. And dude, I'll tell you what, there was them points, dude. It's slinging rocks on a corner, you can make a lot of money. Okay, we didn't do that. You know, we're drunk dealers. You know, we make our money that way. But I'm a victim of the same thing, you know. And that's, I think, the whole problem with the whole socialism thing. You got to work. And now it's a gray area. We'll see what happens to me. I did my taxes this year where I did make a little bit of money. I'm trying to keep that Medicaid. But, dude, I'm almost at retirement age. I'm not a kid no more. You know, dude, I remember my boss told me I had them years when I was behind the wheel driving in a truck, busting my ass all year and doing the hot dog stand, making money. And my boss is telling me, I'm like, I grossed, we'll figure this 20 years ago, I grossed $1,500, $1,800. And then I only bring home, you gross $1,500, you bring home $950. The government took $500 of it. And then he's telling me, oh, you'll get it back at the end of the year. I didn't get it back.
No.
I paid a lot of money like that.
Right. Now, Danny, you
I don't know if I got off.
Oh, yeah, you got off subject. Let's get back to this. Let's get back to this politics game and all that. So I know Chicago is a Democratic city and state. We are well aware that no Republicans are running the city of Chicago nor the state of Illinois. Can we agree on that? Danny.
Well, are you familiar with the term rhino?
No. Educate me.
A rhino is, okay, there isn't one for a Democrat, but a rhino is what is called as Republican in name only. Okay, so you got people in the Republican Party that are actually more Democrats. They got more Democrat philosophy, you know. They call them rhinos. But there isn't really a name for Democrats like that, but they're there. There's okay, it's like say like Martin, there's guys out there and there's some neighborhoods that are working good and whatever, and the guy's got more of like some people would say he's got more of a Republican it's more of a style of doing your business.
Right.
Think about a Democrat and Republican, it's not so much that it's like a philosophy and it's an attitude, but it actually is more of a way of running a business.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's basically what I always thought that the government was. When they start putting in all these feelings, and you got these trannies, you know, I mean, if the Democrat Party is so far out there right now. They're losing it. It's the Democrat Party, I think, he's split. I mean, do you agree? I don't know. You got the transgender thing. You got the immigrant thing. You got the open border thing. It's like Martin, we're in two proxy wars right now with the world: Israel and Ukraine. Okay, the only difference between us, our soldiers being in Israel right now or being in Ukraine, is that we're paying them to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got an open border on the south side where anybody can come in. I'm talking, Martin. I'm on the air. Martin.
I'm here. You here? Go
Martin.
ahead. I'm here.
Martin.
Hello, I'm here.
Some guy with a scooter or something.
Yeah. Tell her I said hi. Tell her I said hi. Yeah.
Yeah, we're in two
Okay.
proxy wars right now.
Now,
And
hey,
then
Danny, let me stop you. I got a question from in the message. One of my great followers, Louis Ramsey, said, Martin, ask Danny what he thinks about Trump. Tell us what your thoughts about Trump. Be honest now. All right.
You know what? I gotta tell you what.
Tell the truth and shame the devil. Tell the truth. And
He
shame
was a
the
great
devil.
president.
Okay.
He was an awesome president.
Mm-hmm.
People didn't like him because he spoke his mind. People don't like the truth. He was a great president. The whole world was stable when he was president. Everybody was afraid of him.
Mm-hmm.
Putin didn't invade Ukraine. Hamas didn't go into Israel because he was right there. And it's like, if you fuck with him, he's going to hit you.
Mm-hmm.
You can't get away with it. Yeah, I know. I just can't. Yeah, no. And listen. He, like in a way, Trump in his own way, he's kind of what you could say. His own ways, he's a rhino. Okay, because he was always a Democrat, and then the Democrat Party is just getting too weird. Open borders, men are women, all this weirdo shit. That's what it is. I don't know why they call, dude. I cannot understand why they call him a racist. How can they call him a racist? Because they don't like, because he speaks truth. Jeez, I gotta tell you, I remember the day when he won. I was like so happy, dude. Listen, do you remember how it was, where it was working in a slop ram, whatever, when it was a great business, and then all of a sudden we got invaded by immigrants.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, dude, they don't really have a problem with the immigrants. They all want, they want to make a living or whatever. But that was the first rush. It's like my fear right now, my big fear, is that, believe me, I've got some really lefty, liberal people I know, and I just don't understand it. It's just like it's like they can't hear what they say, but she's worried about global warming, this girl. And I told her, I said, listen, 10,000 years ago, we were under a mile of ice. Okay, and they're looking at the weather. I know we're polluting the world. I says, I'm not worried about global warming right now. What I'm worried about is the 50,000, I don't know if it's 80,000 right now, 50,000 Chinese nationals that jump that border. And I see them at the border clean. It's like they got on off an airplane. You've got all of the Muslim terrorists coming in. They think that it's somewhere between 8 and 15 million illegal people have entered this country since Biden got in office. And they're all just sitting there. And I told her, I said, what I'm afraid of is all it takes is some fucking asshole shooting at a crowd of people downtown.
And Dan, do me a favor. Danny, do me a favor. Watch your language, man. We may have some young folks on here trying to learn something. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Sorry, Martin.
Go ahead.
And then I'm worried about it, and the whole city's going to shut down. We're actually in two wars. Our United States of America right now is in two wars with the Russians and the Iranians, and we have open borders. Anybody can jump the border. Mm-hmm. That's pretty scary.
So, let me ask you a question. Why do you think the Democrats, and I'm a registered Democrat, allowing the immigrants to come over here so freely without being tested, vetted, or go through the immigration laws? Well, I mean, what is the purpose behind that you think, as being a white person and I'm being a black people? Let me just say this.
No, dude, I'm American. I'm an American
Okay.
person. I'm white, but I'm American. We're all
Okay.
American.
Right.
You gotta remember, we're American.
Right.
And it's well, I think what they're trying to do is they're trying to turn our government into a one-party system.
Mm.
Okay, because when you got a two-party system, you got the Republicans over here arguing about this, and you got the Democrats arguing over here about this. So you got two teams competing for the power, trying to do the best they can for the country. But if it flips over all to one party's going to go wild, and it's like, sure, dude. I mean, I totally agree with some Republican kind of ways of doing things. I also agree with Democrats. I'm kind of in the middle, like they say most of us Americans are. We're in the middle. I'm undeclared. I'm not a Republican or a Democrat, but that's the only choices. And I got two choices: Republican or Democrat. I might not be a great Republican, but I definitely know I'm not a Democrat.
Okay.
You know, because I don't believe in open borders. I don't. There's just a lot.
Mm. Okay. My phone hung up. Danny's still talking. I don't know why my phone hung up. Hold on, people. It does that sometime. Hold on. My phone hung up. Danny probably still talking. My phone's still talking. My phone
Hey,
hung
caller.
up.
This is Martin G, a.k.a. The Crime Chaser. Live, uncut, unedited broadcast. Just before you speak, please turn down all your audio. Please turn them off or down, and do not have us on speakerphone so we won't have an echo, and we'll be with you shortly. Thank you so much.
At the tone, please record your name for announcement.
I'm back. Hey, Danny. Danny. I don't. My phone went dead. Danny, you did all. Hold on, Danny. You did all that talking, man. My phone went dead, but I don't know if they was able to hear you. I know I couldn't hear you. So okay, I probably need this. Well, let me ask you a question. So no matter what you just said. Now, I want to ask you a question. As being a white American, which I am American, what do you think? How do you feel if we continue to keep the borders open? Where do you see America in the next 20 years, in your view, in the next 20 years?
Oh, we're going to be, my biggest fear is I have this weird thing, and then there's Chinese soldiers marching down my alley coming at me, and they're going to come in here and look at my garage, and it's going to be trouble. We're going to be, I think the Democrats have sold out to the Chinese. We're going to be a communist Chinese country.
You know?
Yeah.
Well,
you know what's you know what? There's an interesting book. I don't read a lot of books, but there's an interesting book out there. It's called The Art of War.
Oh, yeah. I got that book. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I read the first few pages, and I just thought about America. I go, man, we're screwed. It's like they really work in with spies, and what their goal is they take over to be a real. The art of war is to defeat your enemy without killing anyone. Without going to war. You take them over. You never shoot a gun, and that's basically what's happening to America. We don't manufacture no more. And this whole electric car thing that's happening right now, we don't make nothing in America. All the Chinese government has all the rights, and they have control of all the mines that are mining the lithium, and there's like rare metals to make the really good batteries. And China already has them. In Africa, they're in Brazil, they're all over the world, and they already have it. They have control of them, and he wants to turn us electric. So there ain't going to be no batteries in here. We ain't making no batteries. I remember Biden when he said when they shut that pipeline down, oh, you're all going to get jobs making solar panels. Well, nobody got a job making a solar panel in America. Oh, there's going to be 100,000 charging stations in America. They made like 500.
Right. Hold it, Danny. I want you to hold it right there. I got another caller. I believe it's one of my callers.
Yeah, Hey, I'm drinking.
Okay.
So you gotta watch.
Okay, I better watch it. Okay. All right. Okay. Hey, I'm trying to get whatever I can out of you. Hey, Bill, come on. I think that's Bill. Okay.
I wish I had more fat.
Okay. Bill, come on. Come on, Bill. I think that's Bill. 4248. Is that Bill?
Hey, Martin,
What's going on,
man?
Open discussion. I was talking to my white American buddy Dan. We've been knowing each other almost 30 years, since 96. I know at least 96. Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead, Bill.
I can't imagine how y'all met, but it probably shouldn't be told on this station. anyway.
But you know what? Actually, but you know what? It was actually at the flea market, at Maxwell Market, Utown, we call it, down there. That's where we met. Yeah. So
Martin, what was great about Maxwell Street, dude. That was a total melting pot, man.
Yeah.
Maxwell Street.
Yeah.
Street was awesome.
Yeah. I mean, you would have people.
Well,
let me say this, Bill. You would have people stay in their own neighborhoods, but when Maxwell Street was there, you have all races, will come down there and make money, So we had to get along because we wanted the money. But go ahead, Bill. Go ahead.
Well, I'm gonna chime in on what you just said because it was a melting pot, and it was an experience, man. It was like a rite of passage for the people that went down there and experienced. It made a lot of entrepreneurs. It made a lot of hustlers. It was a total learning experience for me.
Mm-hmm.
It taught me how to negotiate and barter. It did. But chiming in to some of the stuff Danny said, kudos to you too, man. This some different. We getting a different point of view from your friend,
mm-hmm.
And that's cool, man. It really is that not to have just one point of view or one sector of people, black people, on here voicing their opinion, which in most cases are shared the same.
Mm-hmm.
You get controversial, even with our black proteges coming on here, but it's refreshing to hear somebody that's not just like us speaking up and speaking their mind and telling the truth. And he did tell the truth about Donald Trump from the beginning. I believe he was a great president. He's going to be a good president when he gets reelected again. He never once said nothing bad about any black people, man, publicly. Never once.
Now,
as Danny stated, he's very outspoken, and if you come at him, he coming at you. He don't care what color you are. But the economy was better, and people showed, even though they might have had different ideas in different countries, but they had that line of respect that they didn't want to cross because they know he wasn't going, man. I don't know where. I do know where most black people get off, want to jump on the bandwagon as far as saying he racist, and he's a misogynist or whatever, and that's from the clergy in the black neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
And politicians have known for many years to go at them and win them over or give them a few pennies and think that people are going to sway the way that the black churches are. And from my point of view, black churches and black politicians have sold us out. And at this point, just for everybody to do totally the opposite, especially in Chicago, this is a democratic, just like you said, city, a democratic state. Don't matter if you the Republicans get in and do whatever they do. They can't do too much worse than what the Democrats have done to you. But you will be making a stand, and you showing that you have a choice and a voice, which might bring some awareness in a lot of other areas for our people.
Well, let me just say this, and I'm gonna say this. Just hold it for a minute, Bill. I'm gonna say this. Now, Danny, you may agree, you may not agree. It's almost impossible for a white person to live in this society and not be racist, because everything is geared toward that. But I will say this. That doesn't mean that you can't get no money in this country. You can't prosper. That doesn't mean that. So let me break my point down. What I'm saying is, we as blacks have to get out of this thing. He don't like me, she don't like me. Regardless, let's get some money together. Business don't have no feelings. You got to get the money, because we're lacking in the black community. They're giving immigrants, they have given them over $1 billion as of this point. And they're asking for 70 million. Just in Chicago. So what does that tell you? Democrats are running this city and this state. Imagine $1 billion invested on the South and the West Side communities. I'm not just saying have a long line and give everybody $100. I'm not saying that. But when I say investment in the communities, beautifying the community, investing in activities, better in the schools, things like that, that's what I'm talking about. The quality of life. I'm not saying just give everybody $1,000 and that be it. No. We want reparations, yes. But what I'm saying is, if you would invest in $1 billion on the South and West Side, where predominantly black people live, I believe that Chicago probably would be a much safer place. Now, there are 77 communities in this community, in the city of Chicago, Danny, and there's not one white community is left behind. All the predominantly white communities and the mixed communities are thriving. It's the black communities that are digressing. You ride through 47th Street, 51st, 79th, 87th. Look at our business district area. It looked like, you got abandoned buildings and vacant storefronts. This is what we see. We have so many. Yeah. I'm just being honest, Danny. You know how these areas are. We're saturated with guns and drugs. Everything, Danny, everything that's not good for black people, we got plenty of. Plenty of drugs. Now, we're not making no drugs. We're not making no guns. Even our young people, as young as 10 and 11 and 12 years old, got automatic guns with switches on it, drums and long extended clips and stuff like that. What they know about the gun? Go ahead, Dan.
I can't even get one of them over there. Nobody's got them.
I know it.
Hey, listen, now, you know what, though, Martin? Listen, I'm going to tell you, I'll back it up to, what I said earlier about, even me. I just was lucky I was here where I'm at when I got to where it was hard for me. I can't load that junk like I used to. Mm-hmm. And then the whole Obama thing, when I filled out his paperwork, I didn't even ask for a link. I didn't ask for nothing, and he gave it to me. I was like, holy shit. Mm. And then, so that's how he corrupted. That's how the socialism corrupted me. Mm. So then my friends with companies asked me to come to work. It's like, no, I can't come to work for you for 3 weeks because I'll lose my health insurance. Mm-hmm. Okay, so that kept me down in a way. Okay, not me so much because I'm lucky. I was, I work, but it's the education, Martin. I'm telling you what. I'm telling you, it's education, and it's a play.
Mm-hmm.
It's always been a play, and it's like when you go into a lot of the white, you go into a neighborhood where you think it's white or whatever it is. It's not that they're better than you or they got more. They might have been taught something different than you were taught.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it was, and it's what it is. And I'm going to tell you that is really changing now. And what's happening now is the white kids ain't being taught, and the black kids ain't being taught. Nobody is. Kids are stupid now. You see them. You see them kids on the news right now, saying "Death to America." It's happening in every city in America right now. Death to America. Come on, death to America. And these are smart, mostly white kids out there saying it. Why do they think that? Well, they weren't taught about the Holocaust when they were in fifth grade like I was. They weren't taught about slavery like I was and how wrong it was. They weren't taught that. They're taught something different. It's education. Martin, and this is the sad thing about it is like, I'd like to ask you this question. You said that the way the system works, it's always beneficial to white people.
Yes.
I can see maybe how you've seen that is, but what can you tell me anything in that system that puts a white person ahead of a black person?
Of course, I sure can. Okay, give you an example.
I'm all ears.
Oh
I'm
man,
all ears.
yeah, I sure can. I love this question. I sure can. Let's start with the media. First of all, you know and I know white people get high. They get more high than black people with drugs. But it's always in the media. It's exploited in our community. You know, so they talk about black people gangs, the disciples and the vice lords and the Stones. They talk about that. But then what about the bikers? They're a gang. They shoot and kill. They kill. They shoot and kill. So that's a comparison. Let's go back to real policy. Now, in the black community, white cops are known to be trigger happy. Well, I'll give you an example. If a white man have a gun, and you know that this is to be true, a white person before they shoot and kill, they'll try to talk to him. They will kill him now, but they'll talk. But if a black person got a gun, pointing at an officer or got a gun, man, they shooting first and asking questions later. We see it all the time. Why is it, Danny, that so ever in this system, when white officers, law enforcement, I hope they're listening. Why, when you come in the black community, and you shoot an unarmed man, which has been proven, it's two things that you say. I fear for my life, or I thought he had a gun. And you never hear about an officer getting arrested. Never. They always find some way in the courthouse or court system to drop the charges, or they beat it. And every now until it's late 2000, maybe 2017, 18, where this Laquan McDonald, an officer, finally went to jail. Now, he didn't get the time that he deserved, but he did go to, it was a progress. So what I'm saying, even in the south suburbs, what is that? Markham Courthouse. Markham Courthouse is probably in a predominantly black neighborhood, mix, whatever. We know, most black people know, when you go at Markham Courthouse as a black person, they got a 99.9 conviction rate. I'm talking about as being black. We know these things. So what we do, we go in there, we plea bargain, because we know we're not going to win. We're not going to win. We know that. So these are things, even in prison. Okay, I don't know if you ever been to prison, Danny, but let me just say this. Even in prison.
Times, man. I
don't
want to fucking go back.
I know, but let me just say this. Even in prison, all the white guys, they got the good high-paying jobs in prison. Even in prison. So there is a difference. There's no even level field at all. We know that. Even in the white communities in Chicago, they got way better resources than the black community does. Now they have an alderman, we have an alderman, but somehow the white community. I'm not saying the white community don't have no problems. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that the white community
Yeah,
don't have no crime problem.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not saying that. That's not true. Right now,
Hey, Martin.
everybody is underwater. Every community is having this gun violence, including even downtown, where you think it was safe at. They shooting and killing downtown. Now, that was
Well,
unheard of.
hey, Martin, this is like, okay, yeah, I hear you. You know, I can like try to counter and tell you how shit that happens in white neighborhoods and bad shit too. But I'm not going to argue with you about that or try to say it because the next time I talk to you, I'm going to have more facts
Mm-hmm.
because I would like to throw numbers at you more. But this is the thing that I'm trying to say. This is the point I would like to make to you about this anti-American thing, and they call it systemic racism. Okay, now when you look at what this country is built on, and there's like the saying out there, the Constitution doesn't have to be rewritten; it needs to be reread. Okay, now, and this is the beautiful thing about our Constitution, and I know you can argue with me, but okay, all men are created equal. Okay, you can bring up the slavery thing. Okay, well, that was fixed. Okay, all men are created equal. Okay, but the way America was made in our Constitution, yes, there's stuff wrong with it. But when you go in front of a judge and you take it to court, we are all equal. There is no systemic racism written in our laws.
No, I can't.
Okay,
I can't agree with that,
medium
Danny.
is biased.
I can't.
Medium is biased. There's a lot of systems in our
Danny,
society
Danny,
that are.
Danny. I can't agree with that. Let me give you an example. Why would you think? Why did we have to have the Housing Act, the Fair Housing Act? Because why would you why did we have to have the Civil Rights Act? All these things was amendments because of discrimination. Because of
No.
red line.
Hey, Martin.
Yeah.
Martin. This is one of the things that amazed me about like when we met at like Maxwell Street, hanging around with the blues and everything. That like I was brought up when I went to school. Slavery's bad. Martin Luther King Day was a big day. Just people on the continent are character. I wasn't really enlightened. I was kind of one of the guys that told us everything was light. But when I came to the point when I realized it was only just about the year I was born that black people couldn't vote, they were segregated. What freaks me out to this day is to this day I still can't believe there was white and black bathrooms and that segregation. It fucking excuse me. It freaks me out that that's what it was. I never seen it. But what really amazed me about the black community was them old timers, man. You remember like old George? There's so many of them old black timers that lived through that, and they were so nice to me and would do anything to help me. And they did not. They were, it was like, okay, Martin, what I'm saying is, yeah, that was wrong. And it seems like it should have been longer ago, but it wasn't. But it all straightens out. You get your rights. All men are created equal. That's the problem. That's why you cannot give up on America. We all end up,
right.
It will all balance out. I'm afraid there's going to be a revolution, and I don't think anybody's going to know what they're fighting about because America was built on, you got to fight for it because there's always somebody out there manipulating the system.
Right. Well, let me say this.
No,
let me say this, Danny. Let me just say this. I am an American. I love this country. It's a lot of things that I don't like about this country. It has a dark side. I say that. So I'm not anti-American. I'm not anti-police. I'm not anti-military. I'm none of these things. My thing is, I know how we were done in this country and how we presently still being treated.
Yeah.
I mean, even with what you talked about was the Jim Crow. The Jim Crow. we were so hated in this country and still hated that whites didn't even want to be buried with us in the same cemetery. They didn't want to drink out of the same water fountain. They didn't want to share it. Hold on. I got to tell the truth, Danny. I got to tell the truth. Shame the devil now.
Tell the truth.
Hold on. I'm not trying to make it a
And
race
shame
thing, but I got to
the
tell the
devil.
truth and shame the devil.
Not all of us.
I know. No, listen, I know. But what I'm saying is, I would not get on here and say that every white person is racist. But I will say this publicly. I would be suspicious of every white person. Now, being suspicious, that doesn't mean that's nothing wrong with that. So, nothing wrong with that. So go ahead.
Mark, Mark, how about this word? Suspicious. Maybe, how about skeptical?
Yeah.
Suspicious sounds like there was a crime.
No, but
skeptical is just might be
no, but suspicious, okay. Is I mean, even when you go home and you leave your home and lock your house up, you're suspicious that
lock everything. I'm painting shit down in my house.
Yeah. If you know you don't lock it up, somebody might walk in and break into your home or something. So my thing is, Danny, but listen, see, this is the thing that America won't have. America won't have a real dialogue about racism because once we call them on the carpet, they know they have to treat us right. And listen, we live in an unfair world, and whether you want to admit it or not, I'm not saying every white person got hate in their heart against black people. I'm not saying that. I would never say that.
Martin, I'm telling you, most of them don't, Martin. That's
right.
what I tell you, man. But come on, Martin.
Right.
Trust me, they don't.
Right.
There is. It's not a perfect world, but I'm telling you, it's like I think you're putting a lot of emphasis on white racism, and I don't think it's really there, Martin.
Danny, listen. Let me just say this: you don't have to see it. We see it and feel it. You're not the victim. We're the victims. You're not the victim. See, it's like this, Danny. If you've never been carjacked, you don't know the feeling. No, I'm just saying. I'm just giving you an example. Okay, I'm just giving you an example. This is merely example. You don't know the feeling. You don't know the pressures. There's a communication. I'll give you an example. I do record shows. I sell vinyl. Everybody know I'm a vinyl man. Now, I go to record shows, vinyl shows, whatever you want to call them. And I never hear no white person say nothing racist to me. But it's a vibration that they send off. I'm not shopping with you just because. You can feel that, Danny. Listen, Danny, we have feelings. Black people, we do have feelings. You don't have to call me the NIGGER word. You treat me like one. I'm saying you don't have to do that. I'm not. Danny, you.
Martin.
Go ahead.
I don't think it's that bad. I'm going to tell you what. You might get.
You can't speak for us, Danny. You can't speak for black people. You can't speak for black people. I'm black. Yeah. I'm black. You can't speak for us. I mean, you don't think it's bad, but I'm telling you, it's bad.
Hey, can I be a little sarcastic?
Go ahead.
Martin, you're beautiful. You know what? I got to tell you honestly, when I think about your whatever, I got to tell you, there's only one thing, like maybe, like how it is with people, okay, like there's points where we talked a lot. Then we don't talk for a long fucking time.
Right.
Then we're talking. Well, it's not that it's got nothing to do with it is. It's like, everybody's got their own thing to do. It's like we're in common. But like today I called you because I fucking missed you.
Right.
Because I don't want to lose touch with you.
Right.
But Mark, I got to tell you, I really think a lot of people, like when you go to the record show and you're buying something, Martin, I got to tell you what, I go to some white people and I look at these guys and they look at me and I can just feel they don't like me. Mm-hmm. And the only reason they couldn't like me is because the way I look.
Mm-hmm.
It happens everywhere.
I know.
I'm telling you, it's like, you got to, Martin, I'm going to tell you what, right now, after all the Black Lives Matter, all the racist stuff or whatever, you can go anywhere you want. I mean, it's like, Lay, I tell Lay, why don't you come over? And I know they were always afraid to come up. He was always afraid to come to this neighborhood. And I was like, Lay, there was like this. There's black people in my neighborhood. They don't, they don't. I don't think they even think that they're black. I know they're black because I see them. I know they're, I mean, I know there's some hot chicks and some ugly. I know. I just know what they look like. And it was like Lay was afraid to come up here even before this. It's like, Martin, man, I'm telling you, you can go anywhere you want right now.
Listen.
That's one thing that did. It pays
Danny,
the way. Don't be worried about
Danny, it's not the fact that I can't go anywhere I want. Danny, you would not catch me in some of these white areas late at night. I'm sorry. You just won't catch me out there walking around. It's just not going to happen. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not going to I remember as a little boy, Danny, I'm 55. I think you're a little older than me. And I remember getting chased out of what's that, Bridgeport, so many times over there, right there by the White Sox Park, called the N-word. They ran me out of there. I'm being honest with you. Being chased.
Wait, Martin.
You can't tell me my experience now. Go ahead.
Martin, listen. I'm going to tell you what about Bridgeport. That was the first neighborhood I lived in Chicago in the 90s when me and Shannon split up. And I'm going to tell you what, it was my first awakening of fucking racism. And you're right. Okay. Remember I had the hot dog stand.
I remember.
Me and Shannon were doing good or whatever. And basically what fucked us up was partying too much. We were fucking, it made us nuts. But one of my friends that was watching it, he was like my best friend. We went to high school together, did anything for anybody. He'd come over to the house and me and he tells me, he goes, you got to get the hell out of here. He says, I want you to leave right now. I've got a place for you to live. Go and live there. Get out of here right now, Dan. You got to leave. He was trying to save me. I lived in Bridgeport on Wells, 31st Street Wells. It was actually, I call it Chinatown. So I'm living there. I still had the hot dog stand. Me and Shannon are breaking up. And then, I had a lot of black girls I was fooling around with then.
Hey, hold on, Danny. Hold on. Let me address something. Somebody said something in the comments. I want to address it. Daddy said, Martin, you're lying. You know damn well safest in the white community neighborhoods than black ones at night. Tell the truth, shame. That's not true at all. Trust me. Listen. First of all, let me just say something. First of all, we know, we've seen over and over what happens to black people in the white communities. Black people do not, unless they live there, come in some of these white areas. Chicago is one of the most segregated cities in America. Trust me. And we know at a certain time of day, we're not going to get caught in the white community late at night. First of all, they're going to call the police. The police are going to harass us. They're going to pull us over if we driving down in these communities. So don't give me that. Don't give me that. Trust me.
Oh, hey, Martin. Listen, I'm not agreeing yet, but I'm going to tell you my first experience with racism. This was one of my oldest friends living in his family building. Okay, I had some of the girls I knew at Maxwell Street, some of the girls over from State Street or whatever. But you know what finally killed it? It was me and Shannon split up. The hot dog stand closed down for a little bit. Remember Reggie?
Mm-hmm.
That worked for me?
Right.
So I was hanging around with him all over the fucking place. And I got some real racist stories I can tell you about why I seen him be a victim of racism. Yeah, I'm not telling you that he ain't fucking there. Okay. But when it finally ended up, I was amazed that my friend comes into the house one day and he said, you can't be bringing these ends here. You can't bring them here. He told me one day, you can't be bringing them over here. And I'm like, dude, he works for me. He says, you can't be bringing these end hoes over here. I'm like, dude, all right. And then the next time he comes over, he tells me, you got to leave because his family that lived downstairs were all freaking out because I couldn't believe it. And I got run out of there because of a couple. I remember I was fooling around. You might even know him. It was fun. And then Reggie used to come over there because he was getting stuff ready for the hot dog stand. And then when I I got really upset about it when I left. And then as soon as I left and I talked about it, they all changed their tune. Like I was amazed at how like when I said, you keep throwing me out, what, because my friends are black and blah blah blah, how they totally had this argument. Like they never even knew anybody black was there. It was strange. But that neighborhood right there was that was a famous racist neighborhood, man.
Oh yeah. Very
okay, dude.
But Danny,
Martin, I gotta tell you.
hold on, Danny. Hold on. Let me get another call. I had a caller been waiting. He called in earlier, but he called back. I know he wanted to say something real quick. I mean, we just hogging up all the time. Hey, go ahead, Marcus. 0152. Go ahead, Marcus.
Yeah. I just want to say this. Black people they get their cars taken. The police ride through neighborhoods like Inglewood. I know because I lived over there and seen them do it. They write bogus tickets on your cars, and the tickets pile up. I know white people get booted too, but if you do the math, in black neighborhoods, we probably get more parking tickets than anybody in the city because they feel that they can come into our neighborhood and get away with it, and nothing is being done about it. A matter of fact, somebody just posted on Facebook where they booted a whole block. They honestly should do away with the boot because the parking system here in the city of Chicago is messed up. It's racist, and on top of that, it's economically racist. When I say economically racist, they go in poor neighborhoods, period, and just take people's cars and sell them off at auction to gain revenue.
Yeah,
and that's going on in the black neighborhood.
Wait a second. That happens out here too. I mean, man, you would not believe the part. I owe the city, dude. I got a ticket from Nashville Street from 20 years ago. I owe the city like $6,000 right now. Trust me, dude. And that when they're writing tickets like that, maybe the cops are focused on the neighborhood. Trust me, dude. I've got all the same things. Here. Okay, we come over here every once in a while. You come down the street, but the one thing I learned is I just did spend, I don't know, $200 and something for a village in my van. I don't know, man. I mean, you can say that might be racist, but you can listen. We get it here.
Oh no, in some of our neighborhoods, and if you try to challenge these cops, they treat you all differently, but they talk to us any kind of way. And one time a cop wrote illegal ticket on my van, put in for a tow notice because they said they couldn't see the VIN number. I could see the VIN number standing from the porch. And I went out there and said, wait a minute, you can see the VIN number? I called the city. The city told me, tell those officers not to have that tow truck to pull that car. Those two female white officers had it pulled anyway and then called us for the SARS to send backup, saying that I was aggressive with them. My mother was on the porch, and she went off on them. She said, you racist MF, all y'all do is mess with young black men trying to give them a record. You're not going to give my son no record. That's what they do in the black neighborhood, too. They ride through our neighborhood. They try to put anything on you to give you a criminal record, to put you in the system, and they mess with you, and they mess with you. And that's why black people hate the police department, because it's been manufactured and the government ain't done nothing about it. And as they said in the protest, white silence is just as a part of it. It's not enough white people speaking out against it because they're not experiencing it. Our schools are poor in the black community. The schools are not properly funded. The schools don't have the resources. The schools are not even safe for the kids to be going in it. You got to fight. And another thing, the black parks, this city is so segregated that the black parks, I used to work for the park district. The black parks were told that they have to create a community to get money to buy their own cleaning supplies. The black park field houses are structurally unsafe. And why do we always have to fight to get something did? If we all Americans, why ain't we falling under the American language? Because the way I see it, it's racism in this city, and it's in your face.
Yeah, you know what? Like when you were talking about when you got busted with the van with the VIN number,
Mm-hmm.
did you have a city sticker on there?
Yeah, I had everything up to date. But those white cops in Inglewood do what they want to do, and they don't get. There's no justice. They do what they want to do. They get away with it. This was during the time Daley was in office. Mayor Daley was in office, not his father, but the son.
Wait,
in office.
this wasn't recent.
Well, this wasn't recent, but I'm just talking. Rundown of the experiences that black people go through. It ain't changed. Trust me, brother. It ain't changed. It's been going on. It's going to continue to go on. It ain't changed. It's probably still going
hold on, Marcus.
That's why these kids are the way they are.
Hold on, Marcus. Anonymous caller, you're going to have to call back, hang up so I can see your number, or I'm not going to take your call. I just want to tell you that. Let me say this, Marcus. Tell Danny about when we experienced in Mount Greenwood, right over here at 111 and Kesey and all that.
Oh, yeah, Mount Greenwood.
Talk about that.
Mount Greenwood. I got a crash course lesson. It was something out of a history book, but it was reality. They were literally telling us that if we wasn't out of there by sundown, they were going to hang us. They had to put us on a bus. They surrounded us. They was calling us all kinds of ends and monkeys and animals and the police and the people in the community was a part of it, including the aldermen. And they tried to go on the news to make it look like that they was protecting their neighborhood. Protecting their neighborhood from what? Those cops shot that innocent man coming from a funeral. He was coming from a funeral, and they shot and killed him over fire hydrant. I ain't gonna cuss because I don't have to cuss. Over a fire hydrant that he was allegedly blocking. So activists from the black community came out there and protested, and they were calling us ends and all of that. That was ridiculous. And then want to inbox some of us on Facebook talking about we didn't mean it. We was protecting our neighborhood. Yes, you did. We put them on Facebook Live and showed the whole world that Mount Greenwood was racist. And Mount Greenwood ain't the only one. Evergreen Park, Oak Lawn, you could be just driving through there at night, black coming from Christ Hospital or something, and they will pull you over for nothing. You can have everything right there. They will stop you from nothing. And those cops talk to you any kind of way.
You know, I don't know.
Because you're black.
I don't know if you're listening earlier, but I said that was one of the reasons why I moved into the city, because the suburban cops, I don't know what it was about me, but it was like they were after me. But I'm going to tell you, to this day right now, okay, I got like a lot of my white friends, I'm lucky, Martin. I'm still got friends. Like, dude, I hope I can call you a friend.
Yeah.
Or a hell of a good friend, because I really like knowing you. And respect and everything. I love what you're doing. But I've got a lot of the friends that I grew up with, like when I was saying we were going to school together and stuff. And them guys are like out in Lockport, Willow Springs, or whatever. And like when I go out there and like right now I'm sitting here and I'm drinking in the grass, got a little buzz and whatever. And I mean, if you said, hey, if you said like I ain't gonna ride to the south side, but like if you were like a few miles away, I'd up my motorcycle, I wouldn't worry about it. But I tell you, you don't do it out there. The cops are mean. The cops will just bust you. And it ain't a white or fucking black. Oh, excuse me, a white or a black thing.
See, Danny, let me say this about you. No disrespect. You more on the hippie side, though. You're not that corporate American type white guy, if I may say. So they're gonna label you. You more like a biker to them. See, you're more like a trouble to them. So they'll probably view you as a black person or same characteristics of here's trouble. Here's a white guy with tats on, long hair down his back, and all right, what he's up to. So they're going to treat you the same way that they treat black people. And I got to keep it 100. That's what they do.
Right.
You know I'm telling the truth, Danny. Yeah. They're not, Danny, if you had your hair cut short, hi, my name is Danny so-and-so. Listen, you'll get a lot of passes. But just because you're a free spirit, you don't have no hate in your heart, and you get along with everybody, man, listen, they don't like that. I got one of my good friends right now. Go ahead, Marcus.
Can I say this?
Go ahead.
Even in fashion, they discriminate against us. they make school dress codes, which are really discriminatorial because they don't like the way a black kid wear his haircut, or even on the job. And this is still going on. They make racist. They making the fashion system racist. They don't like the way you wearing your hair. I remember I was working a job at the Museum of Science and Industry. The manager told me, get that gang sign out your head. I said, if you knew anything about the gang, you would know that this is not a gang sign. This is a part. This is a part of fashion. And since the museum ain't paying for my haircut, you can't tell me how to cut my hair. They automatically associate our style of dressing with something negative.
Mm-hmm.
Everything.
Yeah.
Hey,
Hey,
I gotta chime in.
Okay, hold on. Let Bill. Hold on. Hold on, Danny. Go ahead, Bill. Go ahead, Bill.
No disrespect, Danny. If you're a friend of Martin, you're a friend of mine. And I don't think all white people are racist or bad. But until you actually open-heartedly look at a black man or walk in his shoes, you will never be able to understand. I'm a black man, and I'm well-rounded. You gotta look at the fact that the average black person from the 60s all the way up to even now, they haven't had really any interactions with white people except for, especially in this day and time. When I was younger, in my neighborhood, there were white store owners. I went to Maxwell Street. My parents were able to excel themselves to move into neighborhoods that were predominantly white. But a lot of these kids, the only thing they know and experience with a white person is through police. Now, I've gotten past that. I've seen that. I'm a grown-ass man with a business and travel across America. Hold on. And to this day, I've never been afraid of anything. I've been comprehensive in the last 10 years about where I go, or should I say apprehensive, about where I go in the places I go. That's including black neighborhoods. But I will say, in my interactions in America, not just in the urban areas of America, reaching out into the rural areas, I have had some very uneasy feelings and unsettling feelings. I'm into trucking and go to places that I'm the most pleasant guy you can run across, because on the side of this truck it got a name, and I'm pulling the trailer, and I'm going to represent both names to the fullest. But I have experienced times where I've left a shipping and receiving and knew, they say black people always want to bring up the race card, but it's easy for a white person to say that, or somebody that ain't black, when they haven't been challenged or the race card been presented to them on a regular basis. And I get an uncomfortable feeling when I go somewhere to make a delivery or pickup, and they see me and they hassle me or nitpick me or make me wait behind people that I've been there before, you know? So when I leave there, I'm trying to not be seen by the police or anybody. I'm gonna tell you a story. In rural Indiana, my wife and I was driving the same truck. They wanted us to get out of the truck because it was ice outside, and she was sleeping. She was supposed to drive after me. They insisted, nope, she got to get out. It's like 19 below zero. We go inside. These people, she's like, I don't know if I want to deliver this load. It's 19 below, and my dog is in the truck. They had more concerns. They like, you got a dog? Well, you don't have to shut your truck off. You can leave the truck running, and because they don't want Peter coming down on them. But in that same situation, when we left there with the back and forth with the people that we were having a situation with, we got pulled over by a cop in a small town. She wasn't speeding, nothing wrong. We got pulled over by a cop. Now, we can't say factually, but I got a feeling that somebody that worked there, relative in that town, is affiliated with a cop. So it's a lot that we endure, man, that people don't understand. And what the average white person don't understand is it's not always about black and white. Martin, Marcus could do the same thing or commit the same crime that you commit, but you won't be killed for the same thing that we'll be killed for as a traffic stop. In a court of law, you would get more leniency before either one of the black men that was standing up here on this panel. But the thing of it is, when you don't see it or don't speak on it, you are complicit with the system, because America was built on having a bad guy, and the bad guy is black people. I try to move beyond it because I have met some really good white people, and I'm not going to say all the ones I met are bad, but I know when I'm being treated differently or targeted. And what white people don't understand, for the most part, as it's not always about being black or white. Economic status plays a part with the system that we living in.
Okay.
And they will treat you, excuse my French, just like the next nigga because you got tattoos and you're a free spirit, like Martin said. They will treat you, and they are. It's evident. You just said it. And why? And why? You pay your taxes. You're an American. We're Americans. We just want fair treatment.
That's right. Bill, hold it right there. Let me take this new caller too. Hey, caller 8037. Go ahead.
You have a cigarette to buy?
Yeah, how much you want to pay for it?
$3.
Okay, give me $3. Cash app it to me.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
I get him what he want, you know.
Hey, that was funny.
And shame the devil. See, that
was funny.
That was funny. See, sometimes you got to play the role right with them. You know what I'm saying? See, the conversation is too good.
My God.
It's too good, people. The devil got to come in and make some noise and try to upset the house. So I played it right along with him. Send me $3.
Oh my God.
Listen, that's an ignorant, you know what? Very ignorant. You're a hater. You are a hater. You're not a congratulator, but you're a hater. And that's crazy, people. But man, listen, this is a wonderful show because it's our honest dialogue. People, a lot of white people don't want to talk about this one-on-one. all y'all whining. Y'all got Oprah. You got Michael Jackson. You got Michael Jordan. You got Obama. But what about the millions of them? They don't represent the millions of black people. Millions of us have left behind. You know, real talk.
And sometimes by our own,
Yeah,
especially in politics.
yeah, yeah. You know, this is a real discussion tonight, and that's why we're trying to take it to a real discussion. But I'm good with this so far, Bill. I'm gonna sign off, and I appreciate y'all for tuning in. And hey, it was a good discussion to me.
Great.
It was great. Marcus, did you want to say something real quick?
Thanks, Dan.
Yeah, he just left off to get off the thing. He called me twice on the phone. I can't answer. Go ahead, Marcus. Did you want to say something real quick before I close out? Marcus. You got it, Simone.
Yeah, Mark.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Basically, ain't nothing gonna change in this country until white people themselves admit that racism do exist. I'm not saying your friend ain't admitting it,
Right.
but white people in general, until they admit, because they always say that black people are playing the victim. Black people don't want to work; they just want to lay up and make babies and get public aid. And the fathers are not in the home. It's white people it's white single women raising their sons too. And as I always say, if a white woman can raise her son to be a man, why can't a black woman do the same thing? When she done raised many white sons to be brigadier generals and so on. But white people have to admit as a whole in this country that there is racism so that they can eliminate groups like the KKK, the skinheads, and all those organizations that fans the racism and actually wants to come in. They can't wait till the day that they can come into a black community and start beating up on black people. But this is a different breed of black people in this day and age, including my age. We ain't having it. Y'all not gonna do to us what y'all did to us in the past. We ain't having it. Our people ain't got nothing to lose, so they will fight to the death. And I'm not advocating violence, but I'm just saying, until white people in this country stand up and admit that what happened in the past
There's a problem.
is still happening right now today, there's a problem. White people can stop police brutality in the black community. They can stop it. But they have to come together as a whole and admit that racism still exists. Quit trying to say that it don't, because it exists. Jim Crow never died. He didn't have no grandchildren. He was there all along. He just modernized himself. And some of us black people went to sleep on it because some of the white people gave us good jobs and good positions, and we forgot about the fight. But white people have to realize that racism still exists in this country. And when they realize it, now the question is, what do we do? They have the power to stop it. They have the power to stop racism, because racism ain't nothing but a distraction to keep all of us divided. And the ones that's getting over with it are the rich.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Bill, you say something. I'm gonna get off here. I'm gonna get off it. Go ahead.
I'm gonna chime in to what Marcus said. First of all, our black ladies have allowed us to voice our opinions and have discrepancies with this situation. But like Marcus said, until white America, and not just regular people like Dan, but people that got power and status, recognize that it is a problem with racism still. I mean, we saw it through the pandemic, man. God allowed our country and several other countries to be shut down and bear witness to public lynching that's been happening for decades, but it was televised.
Mm-hmm.
It was televised. And to see it and to ignore it, you complicit. You complicit. That's the bottom line.
Okay.
That's all I got to say, man.
All right. Well, that's it. We're going
Good
to end it
show,
right
Martin.
there. Thank you.
Appreciate Dan.
Yeah, appreciate you, Dan. Thank you, Dan, for coming
already
on.
know what it is. Live,
What'd you say,
Hey,
Bill? Yeah.
and Dan,
unedited.
Dan,
Tell the truth.
He's not here. He's
and
not here.
shame the devil.
He's not on. He's
I
off.
love
But you
being
can
black.
he said what?
he chimed in. He chimed in and let your whole listeners, all your listeners know that a white man has had to take public assistance because the myth that they want to put out and narrative they want to put out on the news, it's all black people that's getting public assistance. But there's farmers that's getting public assistance and getting paid for not even growing crops. They get money, win or lose or draw, and the percentage of black farmers in America, I think it's less than 10%, if I'm not mistaken, because the stigma of slavery.
Okay.
That's all I got to say. Good show, Mark.
All right. Thank you.
You
Good
already
night.
know what it is. Live, uncut, unedited. Tell the truth and shame the devil. I love being black.
Has joined.
Hey, man, we get ready to get off, man. You came back.
Hey, Mark, I'm sorry, my phone went dead, but this is a new thing for me. I'm not used to actually, I probably should be putting my brain in, what's that saying? Put your pressing the clutch before you put your brain in gear or something.
Right.
But anyways, all you guys out there, it was really fun to talk to you. And one thing I would like to say, I don't think White Flower is racist as you think you are. It's other things.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be hating, man.
Okay. All right.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Hey, Mark, call me tomorrow.
Okay, I'll call you tomorrow, Danny. I'll call you tomorrow.
Are we still on broadcasting?
Yeah, I'm on. Yeah, I'll call you tomorrow. Okay. We out of here. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Peace out.
Okay, you guys.
Good night. All right.
Love you, dude.
All right. Love you, sir. All right. We out of here, people. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Great
You
show.
already
Great
know
show.
what it
Great
is.
show.
Live.
Good night.